Welcome to the Redvee TV Instant Fan Reaction, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2022 season, as we reflect on St Helens' 60-6 demolition of Hull FC here on a balmy hot Sunday afternoon in Hull. I've never known it so nice up here, Kev.
We don't usually get this weather, do we? I've known it absolutely freezing cold. I've known it raining. I've known it just absolutely horrible. And then today we get a day like this and a performance worthy of the sunshine from Saints.
Absolutely. A scorchingly red-hot performance. I'd say from start to finish. But after the first couple of minutes, I was worried we were going to get Salford.
Listen, yeah, you can split it up into two periods, that game. The first 10-15 minutes where you thought, uh-oh, here we go again. And then the rest of it, that's, say, it's put the metaphorical foot to the floor and just walked away with it, didn't they? 60 unanswered points after Hull's opening score. That's courtesy of David Rigby, who I've been sat next to today.
Well, it's not that hard when they've scored the opening try and converted it, and we've scored the rest. Yeah, well done to David Rigby for coming up with that one.
I thought I'd rob
it. Jack Wells been missing today, suffering the effects of that head knock suffered last week. But Ben Davies goes into the halves, and I thought he had a really good game. And do you know what? Some of the criticisms you've seen on social media are completely unwarranted. Going at young lads in a depleted backline when we've got 4 or 5 youngsters in the side. And for me, any one of our youngsters can drop in when you've got the players around them and performing. And Ben Davies certainly did that today. 2 tries, one while he was in the halves and one at centre.
Yeah, and people have got to remember as well, they've had so much of the development taken away from them with all the COVID lockdowns and things like that. And obviously players mature at different ages. If they play in a set position, they get better at doing that. Look at that with John Bennison. He's nailed on for that number 5 shirt next year for me. He should be anyway, because he looks assured. But yeah, Ben's had a great game today. A little show and go from your half-back for his first try. And yeah, listen, he's not had to do an awful lot, but what he's done very well, and it should give him a little bit of confidence, because we don't know what cost that win's going to come at when we've got both of our starting centres, Sione Missaltier and Conrad Harrell, limping after the final whistle. I mean, Conrad was limping through most of the game, and Sione obviously came off midway through. Well, yeah, in the second half. So it might be that he's got a slot back in at left centre next week and kind of have a run there as well.
And you have to say that's probably where Christian Wolff wants him in his squad, because he's got that versatility of still being a pretty young player.
Yep.
And having that versatility of being able to fit into them a number of different positions. Listen, will he end up as a centre? Probably not. Will he end up as a hard-running second rower? Most likely. But he's shown his hand in the halves as well. Other man who come back in today, Will Hopewati. Absolute Rolls Royce of a performance.
We've said it from the Alex Walmsley testimonial that he just looks like he's such a good rugby player. And when we've got him at full-back, you're just not worried, are you? He's such a good player, and he just gives us that kind of steadiness that we need, especially when we are missing a couple. You can see him kind of barking orders and telling people where to defend and trying to get into the line to help the attack. He's a great player here on a Sunday as well, which we know all the rumours that went round from based in earlier in his career with his religious views. He's played twice for us on a Sunday now. Hopefully they can just be put to one side. And
oh no, don't forget about it in a couple of weeks. I'm going to have to explain it once again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hull FC missing a lot of players,
yes,
and showing a lot of holes.
Yeah, I think that it's easy to kind of forget that and listen, for all that Saints were good, Hull FC once we got past that opening 10-15 minutes were quite simply atrocious. And there's one example that I want to give you. It was still 6-0, and they've got a prop forward near their own line who's running sideways across the line. He gets bundled back in and we force a goal line dropout. Nothing comes from it, but that to me is the attitude of one of your prop forwards, one of his senior players, should be just running that in, making hard yards. And I've said it year upon year upon year. You can't take shortcuts, and Hull FC sometimes look like they're taking shortcuts to try and win a game. You've got to be honest. You've got to just do the hard yards to put yourself in that situation that you can then do all the fancy stuff and get on the end of tries and start barnstorming down the middle. They just don't do that. They just don't do that, and I know they're missing a lot. I know they are. You can only play what turns out there, and we've come back from a couple of ropey performances. We've come back with a good performance there. Very good.
The thing for me, I got hold of the stat pack before the game, and as part of that, it had the Hull FC squad on it, and it had when their players were signed for the club, and there's literally only one or two who've been at the club longer than 3 years, which probably tells you all you need to know about their turnover of players. That said, they were awful, and let's get back onto us being really good.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, we'll have a day off, and say how good we were from the comments.
Yeah, because we're the first to get on the back, Kev, when they're poor.
Yeah, exactly. Listen.
Have a word.
Have a word, yeah. Have a day off. That was a very, very good performance. Put them to the sword. Literally just kept going and going. And that period just after half-time where we scored 3 quick tries, it kind of knocks all the stuffing out of a team. That I don't care who you are, it does put you on the back foot and makes you start doubting what you're doing. Hull couldn't get back to that. We were tremendous though. I think across the park it'd be difficult to turn around and say anyone's had a bad game there. There might be mistakes, but you'd be proper picking at players there when there's no need to. I think, as you say, from Will Hopewati down to Jake Wingfield on the bench, 1 to 17, tremendous, and back where we kind of want us to be. And when we're critical, we're not doing it because we want to be. We're saying what we see. And as you said on the preview show, it's fair game. It is fair game. It's just an opinion. Other people won't share these opinions. But today, I thought we were very, very good against a very, very poor Hull FC side.
And a couple of players off the nudie run.
Yeah, I was going for Matty Lees. I wanted him to get over as well so he could take himself off it. So
you almost feel like they talked about it. Once we got massively points up, you could see a couple of thinking, there's only a couple of us here now.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they still do the nudie run?
I doubt it. Not after Josh Perry got nicked running down Prescott Road.
That's the warning sign.
Yeah, that is the warning. But listen, it's good to see.
But if he'd been a bit quicker, he wouldn't have.
Yeah, he wouldn't have. That's it. You have a look at some of the tries he scored. Louis were there's great hands to put him in. You just think, yeah, that's what forwards are thriving off. They're thinking the backs when they're going in for unopposed tries like that. Yeah, it's great to see, and obviously Louis a crowd favourite.
I think he was devastated not to get the hat-trick, though. It would have been his first in over 15 years. He's only ever scored one before for Harlequins against Pier in the Challenge Cup in a 64-8 win. There's no photos of it because it was that long ago.
And they were called Harlequins as well.
And they were called Harlequins. They've been through about 14 names since.
Yeah, listen, it's great for Louis, and you can see how much it meant to him going over in front of the fans. And as you say, it's good to see that the tries aren't just coming from one position. You're getting your forwards going over. And to kind of quote Kev Cunningham, who comes on here, can we talk about Iggy Parsley? Because if we're talking about forwards, that man is absolutely unstoppable at the moment. He is tremendous. He's a wrecking ball, and then he's throwing the offload out. I'd love to see his stats on offloads today, because he just seemed to be, every time they were trying to stop him, all of a sudden, James Roby's got the ball, how's he got that? Or Johnny Lomax, what's happened there? A wonderful performance in the heat from Iggy.
I love the impression of your shock. Now, I said on the way up here, if we won today and Wigan were to get beat, which I didn't think was going to happen, that was the league leaders' shield done and dusted. I'm going to call it now. That is the league leaders' shield done and dusted. There is absolutely no chance in hell Saints do not finish top of the table now. Called it.
Okay. Listen, Saints fans were singing we win the league on Derby Day. And it's a great day for rugby league football, isn't it? That Wigan got beaten. Saints put 60 on.
Not really, because Wakefield might stay up now.
Well, listen, it's got to be results on the pitch. It's got to be results on the pitch. You can have a look at all different scenarios, whether we go to licensing or anything like that, in which case, yeah, then Toulouse come in and stay in for a set amount of time. If the results aren't good, then yeah, they drop out. But as things stand, we can't just change the rules mid-season and start going, well, we actually want them because we want to go to France every year and we've got to build a sport.
Did Wakefield not start with a -10 start for having flats behind the sticks?
That's like going to Benidorm, isn't it? Listen, I'd love Toulouse to stay up. That's not me being anti-expansionist at all, because I do want to see the sport grow, and I do think that rugby league as almost like a debt to French rugby league that we've got to try and build that. We have got to try and build it, but you can't halfway through a season decide you're going to start playing by different rules.
Absolutely not. But with 4 to play, we are 6 points clear. We're 75 better on the points difference, I think, after that game. That now allows Christian Wolff to have options going into them final 4 games. Potentially, we look like, apart from potentially if results had gone the way we thought they were going to do, we would have had to win everything except Wigan away. Now, with that breathing space, you're potentially going into them final 2 games of the year with the League the Shield actually mathematically done. And with Wakefield and Toulouse at home, you can potentially rotate some bodies and get players fresh and work on your combinations.
Yeah, we've spoken about it before. It's if there's still a relegation battle on, you do hybrid teams where you kind of play half a team and half a team.
If the relegation battle's still on, we'd rest everybody for Toulouse and hammer Wakefield.
Bad man.
Toulouse needs to win by 90 on the final day.
No.
Kev's playing wing.
No.
Centre and second row.
No, listen, you can, and it then becomes where you've got like your walking wounded today. You've also got your players who might be in trouble disciplinary wise after today. It means you can start rotating, and you can start that at Hull KR, at home to Hull KR next week. You can. If
Tommy gets a ban for the late hit in the first couple of minutes of the game, potentially you've got Josh Sims coming on the wing.
Yeah, that's it. And you've got Morgan Knowles, who was spoken to by the ref for a high shot. Joe Batchelor, who's spoken to. You've got the likes of so they watch everything, don't. You've got the likes of Sam Royal, who can come in, who's been doing a great job for Hull KR. He could come in and actually play against him, because I did see that there was some irate Hull fans at the fact that we'd recalled Josh Sim and then not allowed him to, then recalled him and not allowed him, not even played him today. Sorry.
That's what you can do when you're a big club.
Listen, with all the best will in the world to Hull FC, he's our player, so it's up to us to do what we want with our player. We can't. It's not up to us to turn around to teams, unfortunate as it might be through injury or suspension or whatever, to provide them with players just because they want them. It's got to suit us.
Absolutely. Just an all-round good performance. Man of the match for you today?
Parsi. Probably followed by Will Hopewati. I just think he's just so calm and relaxed.
The presence.
It is, yeah. But for me, I think Iggy's spell off the bench was, again, another exceptional one. But I do feel it's harsh kind of picking players when there's so many who've had good games there today.
I think we tweeted after the Salford game that the club shouldn't dare put out a man of the match vote, and they didn't, because there wasn't one, and that was the right decision. Today, you could probably put a good half dozen with shouts of man of the match, because there was nobody who was poor today. There was nobody on that pitch today who was below an 8.
Yeah. Correct, and that's it. You could turn around. You can go through them all where you say Will Hopewati's presence was great. Tommy Makinson's goal kicking, excellent. Conrad Harrell, great in the centres, playing with an obvious injury because he was limping. Sione and John Bennison linked up so well on that left-hand side. Johnny Lomax orchestrated. Listen, you can go on like that through every single player. So yeah, good luck to. If it's Jamie picking the 4 to go in there, good luck, mate.
Absolutely. Right, I think we are done and dusted.
Yeah.
I've never known the weather so glorious up here. It only makes you want to move to Hull, doesn't it, Kev?
No.
Right, I think that's us done and dusted. We will catch you for the preview show ahead of Hull KR on Wednesday. For those of you who are complaining that Kev doesn't wear any Saints merchandise, well, I can see what he's wearing below the waist. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll catch you very, very soon for another episode of Redvee.